Have you ever felt like you're not strong enough to handle what life throws at you? Maybe you've prayed, "God, I can't do this anymore." If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. Even the Apostle Paul, one of the strongest men of faith, admitted weakness. But here's the good news. God's power shines brightest when we are weak. Today we're going to dive into 2 Corinthians 12:9-10 and see why God allows weakness and how he turns it into strength. Point 1. Paul's struggle. Paul talks about having a thorn in the flesh. We don't know exactly what it was. Maybe an illness, a limitation, or ongoing opposition. Whatever it was, it caused him pain and reminded him of his weakness. He prayed 3 times for God to take it away. Have you ever prayed for God to remove something, but it stayed? Paul teaches us here that sometimes God doesn't remove the struggle because he wants to reveal his strength through it. Point 2. God's answer. Grace is sufficient. God responded to Paul in verse 9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. That means you don't need to be strong enough. His grace covers the gap. Think about it. If we could handle everything ourselves, we wouldn't need God. Weakness keeps us dependent on him. Isaiah 40 minutes and 29 seconds says, He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Your weakness is not failure. It's an invitation to lean on God's strength. Point 3. Weakness becomes a platform for God's glory. Paul goes on to say, Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That's backwards from how the world thinks. The world says, hide your weaknesses, look strong, never let them see you struggle. But God says, bring me your weakness. I'll turn it into a testimony. When people see you endure trials you shouldn't be able to handle, they'll know it's God's power at work in you. Your weakness becomes the stage where God shows his strength. Point 4. Contentment in every season. Paul closes with something powerful. For when I am weak, then I am strong. He's not saying weakness itself is strength. He's saying that when he recognizes his weakness, he relies on God's strength. This changes how we see trials. Instead of resenting them, we can embrace them as opportunities to know God more deeply. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Notice it's not our own strength, it's his. Point 5. How this applies to us. So what does this mean for your life right now? If you feel too weak, remember his grace is enough. If you feel too broken, remember he shines through the cracks. If you feel too tired, remember he gives rest to the weary. Your weakness is not the end of your story. It's the doorway to God's strength. Closing application. The next time you feel like you can't carry the weight anymore, don't hide your weakness. Surrender it to God, because when you are weak, then you are truly strong. Comment below. God's grace is enough. Subscribe for more weekly Bible teachings. Share this with someone who feels like giving up today.